My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator. We're just going to take a quick look at what is going on with legislation in the Congress and the Senate right now. We have two bills that were brought forth by Democrats. One would be the Fix Our Forests Act, which is H.R. 471. This legislative package is meant to improve forest health and reduce wildfire risk. And then the other one, I'm a disorganized mess. I don't know, there was another one. Where is it? Anyways, yeah, most of the stuff's come from Republicans. So, what to expect for upcoming high priority actions in the U.S. Congress, focusing on bills in play during the 119th Congress. Bill numbers and official titles. Reconciliation and Appropriations. House Speaker Johnson has indicated plans for two new reconciliation bills this fall, another in spring of 2026, targeting tax reform and spending changes following the passage of the One Big Treasonous Bill, H.R. 1. Congress must also complete remaining appropriations bills before October 1st, 2025 to avoid a partial government shutdown. As of early August, the Senate passed 3 bills funding key agencies, but funding gaps persist for major departments like Defense and Homeland Security. Major legislative proposals. We have the Genius Act, that is S1582. The full name is Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act. It was introduced by Senator Bill Hagerty, a Republican from Tennessee. It passed Senate 68-30, June 17, 2025, and House 308-122, July 17th. Signed into law by Trump on July 18th. Fix Our Forests Act for tackling wildfire prevention, forest management, and watershed protection. That one is H.R. 471. Trade Review Act, S1272, introduced by Senator Maria Cantwell, a Democrat from Washington State, and Senator Chuck Grassley, a Republican from Iowa, would require the president to notify Congress within 60 days before enforcing new tariffs and seek congressional approval to extend them, reinforcing legislative authority over trade policy. Sanctioning Russia Act, that is S1241 and HR 2548. Lead sponsors are Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, and Representative Brian Fitzpatrick, a representative from Pennsylvania. It empowers the president to impose steep sanctions, including a 500% tariff on imports from countries buying Russian energy if Russia refuses peace negotiations or resumes military aggression. Foreign Pollution Fee Act, S1325, sponsored by Bill Cassidy and Lindsey Graham, would establish eco-tariffs on products imported based on pollution intensity of their production. Road to Housing Act 2025, advanced unanimously by the Senate Banking Committee, seeks to address the housing shortage by reducing zoning red tape and empowering HUD to issue land use guidance to foster affordable housing development. The Fix Our Forests Act has passed the House and has advanced to the Senate for consideration. Same thing with the Chinese Currency Accountability Act, HR 386. H.R. 993, Emerging Innovative or Broader Technologies Act. H.R. 164, Electrical Resilience Act of 2025. H.R. 471. And H.R. 1692, Producing Advanced Technologies for Homeland Security Act. Those are all passed the House. From the Senate side, key bills pending include S1241, Sanctioning of Russia Act, S1272, Trade Review Act of 2025, S1325, Foreign Pollution Fee Act, S1124, Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, S852, Protecting the Right to Organize Act, S1503, Equity Act. Those are going through the Senate. Senate Democrats recently called for a White House and DOJ investigation under the Hatch Act, alleging partisan involvement in redistricting efforts in states like Texas, which could influence the 2026 midterm elections. They also reintroduced the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. Meanwhile, the House Oversight Committee continues to issue subpoenas related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, requesting DOJ records and depositions from prominent individuals including Bill and Hillary Clinton, even during August recess. What's next on the timeline? September to October, key focus on passage of the final appropriations bills and initial reconciliation packages. Fall to spring, additional reconciliation bill targeting tax policy and entitlement reform. Late 2025, committee markup and floor debate on major bipartisan bills like the Road to Housing and Trade Review Act and Sanctioning Russia Act. Continued oversight hearings and legislative responses concerning executive authority, election integrity, and past administration conduct. So the Genius Act that passed Senate and passed the House and was signed into law. Critics argue it exempts the president and family from conflict of interest provisions and may allow large tech or political interests undue influence, especially given Trump-linked investments in stablecoins. The Fix Our Forests Act speeds up National Environmental Policy Act and EPA reviews for specified vegetation management on federal lands, empowers the Forest Service to remove hazardous trees without requiring commercial timber auctions. The Trade Review Act, S1272, requires the president to notify Congress within 60 days before imposing tariffs. This strengthens constitutional balance by ensuring legislative input in trade decisions and may increase transparency and accountability. The Sanctioning Russia Act empowers the president to impose tariffs of up to 500% on imports from nations purchasing Russian energy. Restricts access to Russian sovereign debt, expands secondary sanctions and trade limits. Introduced April 1st by Lindsey Graham and Representative Fitzpatrick, awaiting committee review. It could cause problems in global energy markets, raising U.S. and allied energy prices. Impacts on allies purchasing Russian energy. Domestic economic backlash from retaliation. Those are the cons of the bill. Renewing opportunity in the American Dream to Housing Act, ROAD Act of 2025. Some experts argue provisions are incremental and may not significantly lower costs. This package contains about 40 provisions streamlining zoning and land use rules, incentivizing modular. It improves voucher access, supporting disaster recovery and rural housing, and creating innovation funds. It aims to alleviate housing shortages, reduce affordability pressure, and improve access for low-income households. And that's just a short recap of the bills that are going through the Congress right now, and Senate is a part of Congress, so technically all of this is the Congress. And that's what we're looking at as far as bills right now. I don't know if that's all of them, but it's something the news never tells you, what bills are going through our government. And so it's something that I'm trying to cover. So today is August 5th, 2025. It is 9:19 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
So the Olympics is great. And Johnny, for the others, you know, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup too. And you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know, I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on my videos. And also, don't forget to check out my shop where you could get this awesome Real Patriots Punch Nazis t-shirt. America, fuck yeah! And if you go to the link tree in my bio on most platforms, it's got links to everything, all of my stuff. You can find my shop there. I'm on eBay. You can also get this cool Exterminate MAGA sticker, cause MAGA's fucking cockroaches. And fuck MAGA, abolish MAGA, fuck you MAGA.